if I had known that I was going to need to pay that much money for Tia's treatment, I would have left my teeth broken. Like, I just wouldn't have fixed mine. And then everybody who helped to fix mine might have done the same for Tia when I couldn't afford it. Hi. Oh my god. So, I just got a call from the dentist. So Tia went for a checkup, right? That we sent her privately. And she's supposed to have, on the NHS, 4 extractions done, which are booked for the NHS. And now they're trying to say because she has a private checkup, she has to have private extractions done. She can't have NHS extractions, even though she got an NHS referral, and have a private checkup. Like, she can't do both. I know, makes no sense. Even though we have an NHS appointment booked. Like, I'm so confused. So I'm going to have to phone the dentist up later on and give them what for. I mean, she took a day of school for nothing. Because I said, fine, don't do the private checkup. Leave. Don't do it. And then I'll, like, have to call them and try and sort it out. I don't really know. £600 for her to get her NHS referred extractions now. £600 because they're saying that I have to do it privately. £600. I am like halfway through all my dental repairs now though. I've had this one repaired, so the half tooth and the root canal and all that's all been repaired and it looks like it's holding, so that's really good. So I've had that fixed, and then I had a filling done here, like I said yesterday, so that one's fixed. Next, the next step costs £3,000. So this cost like 600. This cost about about 150, £200. But there's a tooth down here at the front that basically has been pushed out by overcrowding. So there's not enough gap for it. So it got pushed forward. And then this tooth up here has been pushing it over and over for years. And now it's wobbly. Like, you could literally wobble it. So it's going to need to come out. But the gap between the teeth that it's going to create is only like 3 millimeters. Because this tooth doesn't sit there. It only sits like in front of it, do you know what I mean? So there's like not enough. So I can't get a tooth replacement in there, like a new tooth, because it's only like a third of a tooth size. And to get a bridge, the bridge would need to be tiny and it would look ridiculous. Then there's like surgery, bone structure, reconstructure, something option, which will cost tens of thousands. So obviously no. And then, so the only option now is to get something called aligners, which are like permanent, like they're kind of like retainers that you wear for 22 hours a day. And so I get this tooth pulled out, then the retainer aligner things put in, and then I have to wear those for like, I don't know, maybe like a year or something to push the other teeth to fill the gap. £3,000! Hence the saving. £3,000. But yeah, £3,000 I need to spend on fixing the bottom tooth. Crazy. Hi guys. Hi. Cool. We'll discuss it all later, but yeah. I'm fuming. It's like, it's actually ridiculous. Like I said, I'm having to pay a total of £4,000. I worked out on my teeth. I think it's actually just under £4,000. I think it's like 3,800 on my teeth because I have to go private. But like, I expect children's teeth to be taken care of. I expect them to get priority. Do you know what I mean? But there are no dentists. That's the problem. It's not that they're not giving them the appointments. I mean, they're not, but that's because there's no dentist to give the appointment. Like, you could only rant to be as mad as you want. Do you know what I mean? Like, that you, like, if the people don't exist, That's kind of it. Not much else you could do, really. And unfortunately, the dentists don't exist. Only private ones. And I don't blame the private dentist to go private because you make well loads of money on it. Like, they spend years and years studying. Of course they want to make the most money. And working for the NHS is a joke as well at the moment. Since the NHS went crap after COVID, like during COVID, after COVID, like, it's just turned into a pile of, like, dog shite, really. So I don't blame dentists and doctors and blah, 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 blah for not wanting to be working with the NHS. Like, I just don't. Like, of course you don't want to work in the public sector. Go private. Make your money. Like, of course. But what they've done to Tia's appointment is a pile of shit. Because it's like, to say that she can no longer have her treatment on the NHS because I booked a private checkup appointment. I just wanted to get her teeth checked over because she hasn't had a proper checkup in ages. But yeah, to say that because I paid for her checkup, she now has to pay £600 for her extractions because she can't get it on the NHS anymore. Honestly, I can see the NHS dying out. I think it is. I think it's going to. But the problem is, normal people, like myself, like I'm in a low income band. We work, but I'm in a low income band. We can't afford to pay £600 when the children need dentists. When the children need braces. Tia wouldn't be able to get her braces because I wouldn't be able to afford it on private care. Like, the fact that my treatment's costing me, like I said, like almost £4,000, and it's like I will not be able to. Like, my filling costs £170 alone. I cannot. What if the kids, like Tia, she had weakened enamel when she was younger on her baby teeth. Her grown-up teeth grew through with like normal enamel, like it's all fine. But her baby teeth had like a problem with them where they didn't have enough enamel or weakened enamel. So her teeth corroded no matter what. I remember thinking it was my fault and I wasn't brushing them well and blah, 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 blah. It turns out, no, she actually had like dodgy baby teeth. And so she had 3 fillings by the time her adult teeth were coming through. I wouldn't be able to afford that for the twins now if that happened to the twins. Like, do you know what I mean? End up going the way of all sorts of insurance and dental and medical. Yeah, but then usually to get insurance, you pay your monthly fee. That's an extortionate amount when you have a lot of people. And then you still have to pay like the excess charge on most things like that. Like if you need £1,000 treatment, the excess is £50 or £100 or whatever. Do you know what I mean? Like I also can't afford that. And if I can't, but it's like, what about single parents who work part-time jobs? Like, it would just be an absolute nightmare. Like, the country is not, like, capable of it, given how, like, employers pay and all sorts. Like, we don't pay well enough to compensate for that. The fact that you already need to have both parents working at all times in this country just to make ends meet is like, how are you going to add the cost of healthcare on? Like, does that mean we won't pay national insurance anymore and therefore that can go to health insurance? Do you know what I mean? Or will we still pay national insurance because the government are money grabbing twats and then we had to pay health insurance on top of that? On top, probably, which is ridiculous because if we then have to pay for medical care, we should be paying for, I mean, the amount of tax and national insurance combined that people are paying. I mean, obviously I'm on low income, so this isn't aimed at me, but like when I see how much people are paying, like how much Boyan's paying on his, because obviously he gets paid like a decent wage, and it's like, and then yet we pay all that tax and national insurance, and yet we can't get doctors and dentist appointments when we need them. Oh, I have a phone call. One moment, please, guys. I'm actually so angry that I might cry. I won't cry because there's a camera on me. But I'm so angry that I might cry. So basics, they said because this is unbelievable, because the referral for the extractions didn't come from their dentist, like that practice, they can't honour the like forcefulness of the right. Hold on, I'm explaining this wrong. Okay, so when we signed up for this dentist, they said yes, we have space for you. We signed all 5 of us up. They had a new dentist that they were taking on under the NHS. 3 days before this dentist was due to start, once they had taken on all these new patients and assigned them to them, this dentist decided, actually, no, I don't want to work there, and they bailed, which is why we're struggling with this new dentist that we're with, because they now don't have that person who was supposed to be assigned to all these new NHS people that they had taken on. We left our last dentist because they had no dentist there as well. So we came here hoping to kind of, you know, carry on. When I told my orthodontist people that are taking on Tia for her braces that we had swapped dentists, they were like, that's fine, we'll just send the referral letter to the new dentist. And I'm like, cool, great. So because we don't have an assigned dentist at this NHS practice, because they quit, they don't have the body to do it, meaning they cannot authorise the extractions because they never actually requested the referral in the first place. If they had requested it and then their dentist had left, it would be their responsibility or whatever to somehow figure something out. But basically, because it wasn't their referral, it's kind of like it wasn't their mistake and they don't have the bodies to do it. So the only thing they could do is to do it privately. And I said, and I was basically like, that's unacceptable. I was like, I don't care that it's costing me £4,000 to get my dental treatment because I'm a grown up, it is what it is, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, but you took on the care of children with the promise of taking care of them, and now you're not giving them the treatment they need. I was like, there has to be something you can do. And I was like, I understand you don't have the body in there, but then you have to have like a referral service where you send us to another practice or something to get her treatment. I was like, this is like an over a 2-year wait she's had for this appointment in the first place, because that's how long it takes to get the process of the orthodontist working. And I was like, and now we've come to your dentist with the promise of your care under the NHS, and now you're telling children they can't have the care that they are entitled to because you promised their care. So they only have magical bodies when you pay for it. Well, that's because the private dentist won't do the NHS treatment, because then the private dentist won't get paid. So they're like 2 separate units. It's kind of like going into Tesco's and there being a Costa in Tesco's and you expecting Tesco's to take responsibility for the Costa. It's like they're 2 units sharing the same building. It's not, there's no crisscross over. Or like a personal trainer in the gym doesn't work for the gym. The personal trainer pays the gym for their unit so they can use their equipment. But if the gym don't have any fitness instructors to talk to you that day, the personal trainers don't need to step in and cover for them, because they are independent, self-employed people who are just hiring out that room. It's like, in fact, it's exactly like that. So the private dentists aren't going to take on NHS patients, because then the private dentists aren't going to get paid what they're doing, because they're not the same thing. They're not the same company. They're completely self-employed. They just rent a room. But I'm just like, which I completely understand, and I get that. Basically, she said the only thing that they can do is re-refer Tia, pay for a private appointment just to get the checkup done, because they said they've never seen Tia's teeth, so they can't even vouch for the fact that her teeth are pullable or whatever, because you just have to have it on record. They said the only thing to do there would be to re-register, get her done a private checkup, then to send a referral off, which will trigger another 2-year wait, which by then we will have a dentist assigned to us in that place. If we wait 2 more years for a new referral, because that's how long the referral takes, which means we will void our current orthodontic treatment for her. She is this fucking close to getting her braces. This close. She just needs the teeth out. And then I have an appointment ready and waiting for her the second I call them. And then they will be like, let's go. And that's what I said. I was like, this is a problem that's now going to last into her adulthood. Like, I was like, because, like, she was promised care and now she's not getting the care on the NHS. It will now move into, like, her adulthood because of her age. She's already now going to, like, have her braces in college, which means if she waits for another year, she's literally going to have braces when she leaves her full-time education. When she goes to try and get her job as a child psychologist, if we wait another year, she will literally be attending interviews with these braces that we tried to get from 13 years old. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's already bad enough that the wait list is 2 years for orthodontic treatment on the NHS. But yeah, and she's just like, no, we can't, like, she went to talk to her supervisor, blah, blah, blah. Poor girl. I feel sorry for the girl on the phone. I did say that to her. I was like, I'm not mad at you. Like, I'm not, like, shouting at you. But I'm, like, obviously this, like, it just, something needs to be done, blah, 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 blah. Like, I understand that this isn't you who did it. It's your surgery that did it, blah, 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 blah. But, like, obviously, so it's not her fault. But obviously, she went to go speak to her supervisor. That's why when I was typing to you guys, she was talking to her supervisor then. And then, yeah, and then she, when she came back, obviously the supervisor obviously told her, just tell her no. So she's obviously come back to the phone, oh my God. And basically said, yeah, like, there's nothing they could do. They can't refer her to another dentist, like, they can't transfer this appointment to an emergency dentist appointment somewhere else, because there just aren't any. And then they can only do private treatment at this one, because they don't have an NHS dentist for her. So I've now got to phone up her dad and beg him to somehow, because he earns more money than I do, and bless him, he helps out whenever he can, whenever I can't afford something, if it's for Tia. Like, he's like, I actually don't know what we would do sometimes without him, because it was the same with her Iceland trip. I couldn't afford like £1,700 or whatever the hell the cost of the trip for school was, and he like paid for half of it. Like, sometimes I'm like the luckiest, like, baby mama separation from dad ever, because he will pay for half of everything. He pays for half of, like, her birthdays, like the birthday parties and events with the friends and all sorts. But now I need to phone him up and be like, do you have £600 to pay for Tia's treatment? Because I have nothing, because I've just spent it all on my treatment. Like, we're already fundraising. Like, I mean, you guys have seen my PayPal link that's been going out, that James set up to try and cover the cost of my dental treatment, because we can't afford £4,000 for my treatment. So we're having to, like, get it from people. And so we don't have any money. And so now they're telling me that I now need to find £600 from somewhere to pay for Tia's, after I spent all our money on myself, thinking she was going to get NHS extractions. Do you know what I mean? Like, they should have told you before making you spend anything. Like, I'm just like, obviously it's not their fault that I've got such bad teeth, and therefore I'm now having to spend this much money. It's the last dentist's fault that I have such bad teeth, because they mistreated me there. They did the work really, really craply. And then messed me around because they didn't have any dentists to fix the problem. So I got messed around for like ages. That's why my teeth are so bad. The dentist literally broke me. And that's what's costing me £4,000 to fix, because it was neglected for so long. But it's like, if I had known that I was going to need to pay that much money for Tia's treatment, I would have left my teeth broken. Like, I just wouldn't have fixed mine. And then everybody who helped to fix mine might have done the same for Tia when I couldn't afford it. Like, I shouldn't have to pay thousands and thousands for something that the country is supposed to get for free, because we pay our taxes and our national insurance. Would this not fall under malpractice. The problem is it's like hard to prove that happened. Like, I know that it happened in stages each time, but like it's hard to say that that's kind of what happened. We can just see the path of that's what happened. And it was so many different like dentists. One was an emergency appointment somewhere else, and I have no way to prove that they said what they said to me, because it was like word of mouth that they said certain stuff. So like there's kind of no way to sort of prove it, because it was like 3 different occasions, 3 different things that each time broke the tooth and stuff a bit more. It's just like it's treatment that they're supposed to be entitled to in this country. And it's like, I know that each practice can't help that there's not dentists. I mean, if we hadn't have removed ourselves from the EU like we did, we'd be having them traipse in and out of the country all the time, like we were before. Like 90% or something crazy, I think it's actually more like 70%, like something extreme of our medical people were Europeans who were coming into the country. They weren't British. We don't have British dentists and British doctors. We have like foreign dentists and doctors that come in. And then we went and signed this stupid Brexit thing, and it messed up like the kind of, I don't know all the ins and outs because I don't follow politics like that much, like not like that. But it messed up like countries sharing with us and stuff. And so we don't get as many in. So I get that plus COVID, blah, 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 plus the politicians probably buying extra boats and houses and crap. Like, I get all of that combined has caused. So I know it's not the exact dentist practices like problem. I know it's not their fault, but it's still, we're living in a rich country and we've got worse dental care for our children than some of the poorer countries. Like, obviously we're like considered richer than Croatia, and Boyd's constantly saying how over in Croatia you just get it done. Like, there's none of this going on over there, and we're like supposed to be a richer country than them.
Might have to fly back.
I know, it'd probably be cheaper to fly to your flipping country. Just stay there for a month, stay with your parents, and just be over there. Sorry, Sean, I'm taking your kids to Croatia for a month to get like cheaper dentist. I believe in sharing with the other countries because things like this happen. Like, why would you not share? Like, we don't make enough of everything. Like, we don't make enough dentists and stuff because our kids aren't doing it, because our country's crap. It doesn't teach them the value of being a doctor and stuff. They make it too expensive to go to university. It's because university is so expensive, people don't want to do it because it puts you in debt for after you leave. When you can make more money or better money being bloody other stuff that doesn't cost you a university degree. Like, I've always sung the praises of the care system and the benefit system and being part of the UK and blah, 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 because I've never had a problem with anything before. I've always worked, always paid my taxes. I raised amazing children. The healthcare system has always taken care of us. The benefit system has taken care of us when we've needed it. Like, I've always been really pro UK. Even when the government screw us over, I still stand by them because I'm like, look at us, look what we've got compared to other countries. This is the first time in my life I actually feel like being here, or the choices that I've made so that I'm not rich, has now failed the children. Like, the fact that if I like don't fork out this money on the dental treatment, Tia's life or her confidence and everything is affected because she can't get the braces without it. And we all know for a fact that if you let your teeth fall apart, like, people judge. They just do. So I don't get a choice but to repair mine because it will affect where I can work and what I can do, because people do judge. If I go to an interview and all my teeth are broken and I let the and do you know what I mean? Like, I have to get it done. And it happened because the dentist broke my teeth. Then we all know that people judge. Like, it just is. Like, you don't get a choice but to do it. It's like we had, I hate bitching like this, but like the rant is just coming out now. But we had the kids' school trips were announced this month, and it's like £177 per child, and it's like it's Christmas time. I'm having all these problems with the dentist. Now today we find that we got to pay another £600 to save Tia, and I've still got to pay £177 for this overnight trip for the twins, each per child. So it's like I have to like choose between my teeth, Tia's teeth, twin school trip. Do you know what I mean? I had to choose between my kids and like my teeth. So obviously we know which one loses. Obviously I like do the kids first.
One time you want to fix yours.
I know. I wouldn't even go for full British at this point. Gains you no benefit. You trap yourself in. Yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't. Like, the thing that we were excited for Boyan to get whilst he was here was the healthcare. Because he was in an amber section, which meant there was certain healthcare that he couldn't get. Like, he couldn't get conception-assisted treatment because he wasn't whatever and blah, blah. So there was a bunch of healthcare that he couldn't get because he wasn't a true citizen. So we were like, wanted him to do that. And now we're there. And there is no fucking healthcare anyway. I mean, it means he can't be removed because of like a new Brexit decision.
Well.